Because of those who came before, we are. In spite of their failings, we believe. Because of and in spite of the horizons of their vision, we too. Good morning, everyone. It is good to have you all here. You all have survived the mad rush of candy and both the rush of children coming to take candy as well as the rush of eating all the candy, of dealing with at my house the daddy tax that I levy on my children every Halloween. It is good to have you all here. We have a now let me turn our service over to Washington. Good morning for our welcome.
Well, good morning and welcome everyone to First Parish. As Hank said, I'm Marcia Maurer. I'm a member of the worship committee and the worship assistant this morning. Welcome to anyone who is a newcomer, and if you want to learn more about us, you will see in the pew rack in front of you a packet where you can fill out some information and drop it in the plate when it comes around and tell us about you and how to contact you. If any of you need childcare, we have down the hall here certified childcare, and you can take your little one down there and drop them off. You're also welcome to get up and move around during the service and use the back of the church for quieting them down if you need to. We also have listening devices and large print hymnals. If anyone needs that, you can get those at the back of the church. From our ushers and greeters who are going to wave their hands. We've got Ian and Dave greeting, and we've got Dolan Besky's helping us with ushering, so we're great to have them. And you can also find them if you need to find your way over to the coffee hour, which is through the link this way or around the front into the parish hall, and we hope you'll join us there after church. In your order of service is a, I don't know what color it is today, pink or purple, there you go. Listing of things that are upcoming in the church and a lot of the activities that are happening outside of church, so I really direct you to take a good look at that and see all the exciting things that are happening. And I think we have at least one more announcement. Charlie French is going to come up and I presume tell us a little something about the search committee, so let him do that.
Good morning, everybody. Just for your information, the summary of the survey is now posted, at least as I understand it, I didn't get time to look at it, on the members page of our website, if you want to look. But I did put a copy of the summary on the board in the hall if anybody is dying to see a summary of the results. We will also have a link for you to be able to see most of the graphs that developed out of the survey as well. That'll be coming this week. But the most time-sensitive issue for us at this point is that the last of our cottage meetings will be taking place today. Frank Graham and I will hold one this morning at about 12:15 or this afternoon, right after social hour. We'll gather in the library, although I'm thinking that if it's open, we may actually move to this space in the sanctuary to meet. And then this evening, there will be a final cottage supper meeting at Brigitte Miller's house at 175 Lyman Road. And I believe you still have a couple of open slots for that, right? We certainly have several open slots for today's meeting, and I'm hoping that at least 2 or 3 of you will be willing to join us this morning. We will end promptly by 1:30, if not sooner. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Lastly, I want to tell you that you belong here, maybe just for today, but we hope for longer. You belong here, and we are happy to have you with us. And now we would like to have all of you extend a generous welcome to one another by taking a moment to say hello. All right, if everyone would join me can join me in chalice lighting, because only I have it, so listen to it. Chalice lighting. May we be led from death to life, from falsehood to truth, from despair to hope, from fear to trust, from hate to love, from war to peace. Let peace fill our hearts, our world, our universe. I'm going to invite Pandora to lead our service.
Good morning. For nearly 20 years, the First Parish Earth-Centered Spirituality Group has met between 8 and 10 times throughout the year for all that time. We see divinity in all aspects of nature, the true expression of creative energy of which we are a part and of which we are composed. Last year, we completed the application process and were granted chapter membership by the Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Babies, referred to as CUPS. Ours is called the Great Blue Hill CUPS chapter. We hold evening services and rituals and various other celebrations on points along the solar and lunar cycles. We've been invited to share elements of our ceremony with the congregation this morning. This is the time of year that we call Samhain. It is the midpoint between the autumn equinox and the winter solstice, and it marks the entry into the dark, introspective half of the year. On the solar cycle, it lies opposite to Beltane, May 1st, which is the beginning of the bright half. The season of amber leaves and firelight has long been held as a time of enchantments and charms, mysteries and magic. With the decay of plants and animals going into their winter hiding, it is easy to see how Halloween became the holiday of death. Bonfires, hay rides, pumpkins, and cooler evenings remind us of the importance of gathering friends and family, including our ancestors, in love and memory. It is older than written history. We pagans also recognize and celebrate the reflection of nature within ourselves and perform rituals of looking inwards, cleansing and ridding ourselves of habits, fears, and regrets. The pentagram is probably the most well-known symbol of our spiritual path and is generally placed on the altar during our services. Its 5 points represent the 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. We begin our ceremonies by honoring these elements that exist in our world and within ourselves, and then casting a circle around our group.
By casting a magical circle, we create sacred space. Evoking the elements, we can raise power within the circle and charge the energies with our magical intent. Working with elemental spirits and 4 directions, we can direct our inner work to manifest in our outer world, as above, so below. To cast a circle is a deeply symbolic act that can have the following benefits. It creates sacred space, which enables you to focus on the work at hand. It enables you to create a protective shield to keep out unwanted influences so that you feel safe enough to open yourself spiritually while remaining confident that only positive energies may enter therein. The circle works to contain the energies that are raised, making your spell, also known as prayer, more focused and therefore more potent. When you visualize the circle, imagine it as an iridescent dome of positive energy, protective energy, which extends a few feet above your head, a clear bubble that holds in the energy of your spell. After you raise the energy of the spell, you can release it by sending it out to the universe, asking that it may be accomplished in accordance with the highest good for all concerned.
As Carla casts the circle, we invite you to stand and join us, facing the direction of east.
We invoke the powers within of dawn, awakenings, and new beginnings. Fill our lungs and join in celebration of the endless renewal of light and life.
We evoke the flowers of fire, of new and passion, creation, construction, warmth of the rising sun. Quicken our hearts and join us in celebration in the folding of the earth.
Please turn to the west.
We invoke the powers of water, of evening, pleasure, and flowing motion. Wash us in gentle rain, revive our longing, and join us in celebration of boundless possibility.
Now continue on to the north.
We invoke the powers of the earth, the darkest night, of fertility and strength. Support our steps and join us in celebration of a world entering its time of slumber.
And we call to the power of spirit, of awareness and empowerment. Help us connect with the sacred in all things.
Oh, actually, no, keep standing up. We're going to sing. We're going to sing. You'll find it in the Silver and Gray Hymnals, it's number 54. Now light is less. Come, let us gather. We gather to celebrate the sacred within and among us. We come to seek spiritual growth and understanding. We strive to practice acceptance, forgiveness, and love. Together we work to build a world with justice and compassion. Come, let us gather together. Please be seated. May I invite
morning. Honored to be here today to celebrate. Samhain is about memory. It's about the memory of things that have passed and are now gone. Loss has value. Loss teaches us to appreciate what we have and remember what is no longer with us. It teaches us how to recognize and treasure the smallest blessings in life. It brings perspective. Samhain is a time when, above all else, we honor the lives and the death of not only our ancestors, but all of those who have passed before us and have made a mark on our own lives. Perhaps you brought a photograph with you today. It could be of a loved one, perhaps it's of more than one person. If you did, take it out now. Put it in front of you and look at it. If you didn't, perhaps you can conjure up that picture in your own mind. A recollection of someone special. It is said at this time of year, the veils between our worlds are the thinnest. It is a time when we can connect to that other world. The dead walk with us now. They always do. If only in memory, watching over us, guiding us, struggle as we struggle, celebrate as we rejoice. While the deceased are always with us, there's something special about Samhain in this time of year. Perhaps it's that we're primed to be more open to their presence. Perhaps it's that the world around us is withering in beauty. It's easier to put ourselves in a place that we conscientiously reach out to them and connect with them. Let us remember them now. Let us remember them today. Their names, their stories, their struggles, and their sacrifices. Let us carry their graves on our backs, in our hearts, in our minds, in our memories. They have made an impact on our lives, and we should honor them. Those who are remembered live. Say it with me. Those who are remembered live. Sit quietly now. See if I can make this work. I never do it right. If you brought that picture with you today, study it carefully. If you didn't take that picture with you, then now's the time to paint it in your mind. You may continue looking at this picture, or if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Breathe deeply. In through your nose for 3 counts, and out through your mouth for 3 counts. Again, in through your nose, and out through your mouth. Feel yourself rooted to your seat, the floor, the earth. Breathe in again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Relax your mind. Let your shoulders drop. Feel the tenseness fall from your body. Allow the calm to sweep you. Think of that someone special now who's deceased that you would like to remember and connect with today. Someone who's left this world. and entered the spirit world? Is it a long ago ancestor? A recent relative? Lover? Friend? Teacher? Pet? Take another deep breath. What memory do you have of them? When did you first encounter them? Do you remember that moment, or were they always there? Can you picture them physically? How tall are they? What kind of clothes are they wearing? Look into their eyes. Can you remember their smile? How about their voice? Can you hear their voice? Do they have an accent? Or a specific phrase that they would say that made you smile? Breathe. Deep breath in. Can you smell their perfume or their aftershave? Or maybe medicine? Or maybe it's the smell in their hair or their clothes or their home. When the veils between our material world and the afterlife are the thinnest, as they are today, many believe, as I do, that you can receive communication from those who have passed over to that other world. Over the next few days, look for a sign from that person or those people you've remembered. I always get them. Sometimes it's subtle. It can be as simple as hearing their name, or having your favorite food served, or that feeling like someone's looking over your shoulder and watching out for you. Being aware makes it so. At Samhain, we are reminded that we must honor those loved ones who are no longer with us. We must not stifle their voices or smother their stories. It's up to us. We must validate the tangled tapestries of their lives. It's up to us to celebrate them. Give them a place of history on this earth and in our lives. Give them that voice. Now I ask you, say their name out loud. Say their name out loud. Norman J. LeMay. It's my dad.
Emma Rowland.
Midge Howard.
Donald Morrow Sr. Dorothy Norton. Howard Russell.
Randall. Alan Woods.
Steve Pepper. Michael David Brother.
Chicken Bright.
Neil Crow.
Brazilian.
Paula Marshall. Ann Oster. Beta Aaron. Regina Val.
Our steps to that.
Elizabeth Totten.
Those who are remembered live. Say it with me.
Those who are remembered live.
Blessed be.
walk the good road to the day of quiet. Grandfather, Great Spirit, fill us with the light. Give us the strength to understand and the eyes to see. Teach us to walk the soft earth as relatives to all that live.
Around this time of year, we tend to experience our community life in a deeper scope of history. Thinking of the communion of saints of which we are a part, the priesthood of all believers, the great cloud of witnesses, is a time when we get to remember. We take time to remember, not just of our beloved dead, but also to remember, to put back together our sense of place and purpose in history. At this time of year, our imaginations are stretched to go backwards into the past as well as into the future. And we see the great timeline of existence and ourselves set within that lineage. Each year at this time, the minister comes and reads the names of those members or friends of this congregation who have died. And we are reminded that one day our names will be read out as well. A colleague of mine in the church, and she said that there were no members of her congregation who died in this past year. She wondered out loud on the minister's chat,
if there were others whose names could be read out as well. I said perhaps those faithful people who were killed at Mother Emanuel AME Church in South Carolina. They should have their names read. Reverend Pinckney, Cynthia Hurd, Reverend Coleman Singleton, Tawanza Sanders, Ethel Lance, Susie Jackson, Payne Doctor, Reverend Simmons, Myra Thompson. And my colleague replied, yes, and all of the unarmed black men killed. And someone else said, and the trans women killed. And other women killed in domestic abuse situations, and those killed in Syria because of their faith, and those killed anywhere because of their faith, and the thousands who have died during the Hajj. So many names. So many names of people of faith and people of no faith. Those whom we know and those we will never know. Who are with us in spirit or in memory. And thinking of all of those people who have died this past year, those we have connections to, as well as all of those whom we have no connection to. Thinking of them can be like thinking of the many grains of sand on a beach. It is hard to fathom all of those lives that have passed this year. And then we remember that we too are one of those grains of sand. And our lives will eventually come to an end, though we do not really expect it ever to end. And like grains of sand in an hourglass, we are astonished how they pass away almost imperceptibly. And yet in the space of an hour, they are all gone. Thus wastes our lives too. Today we put forth the tender leaves of hope. Tomorrow blossoms and bears blushing honor stick upon us. The next day comes a frost, which nips the shoot. And when we think our greatness is still aspiring, we fall like autumn leaves to enrich our Mother Earth. Death is personal. We spoke aloud those names of those loved ones whom we have known and lost. And yet it is also the universal. It is something that happens to all people, all around the world. It unites us with those who have gone before and those yet to come. And it unites us with the divine as well. And so it is our task today to remember. And so we remember. Will you join me in singing our next hymn? You'll find it in your silver engraved hymnals. It's hymn number 101. Abide, please rise if you are able. Our thoughts turn to things past, to light returning to those who are no longer with us. Images come to mind of our dear companions who once graced our lives, loved ones whom we miss, persons whose lives made an impact on our lives, of all those who were here, contributing, caring, and are now gone. Our memories bring both joy and sadness, but let us not push those feelings away. For our recollections attest the enduring importance of these friends, this love, our memories. May these brave and lovely spirits live again in our tender thoughts and prove that death and distance are powerless to sever the bonds that truly loving hearts connect. And we are going to, and I would like us all for a moment to think of those members and friends of this congregation who have died this past year. John Eldridge Garland, Robert Lee Mittendorf, and Veronica Ann Malcolm. May their memories be held in our hearts and in the lives of this community as it goes forward and lives on without them. Spirit of life, whom we know best in our loving and our being loved, hold us as we remember those that we have loved and those who have loved us. May our gratitude sparkle in our lives. May our tears soothe our souls. Help us to know that we are not alone in our grieving. And help us also to come to that peaceful place in which we can take what we learn from those who have gone before, put it into our lives. Remind us that we too are mortal, that the only enduring legacy that we leave is the love that shines through our lives. Liz asks us to pray for those with disorders of the brain. Chris and Dottie Pitt ask us to hold up 3 important people in their lives who have passed away this year: Al Goldstein, Elaine Lourdes, and Doug Randall. Out of life comes death. Out of death, life. Out of the young, the old. Out of the old, the young. Out of waking, sleep. And out of sleep, waking. May we remember that the stream of creation and dissolution never stops. That we are part of that stream. Amen. Let us be in silence for a few moments together. Now our responsive reading. You'll see printed in your order of worship that the response that we have is, we live in all things, and all things live in us.
We live by the sun, we feel by the moon, we move by the stars. We live in all things live in us. We eat from the earth, we drink from the rain, we breathe of the air. We live in all things live in us. We call to each other, we listen to each other, our hearts deepen with love and compassion.
We live in all things live in us.
We depend on the trees and animals, we depend on the
the service of truth and the increase of righteousness, we dedicate our lives and this offering, which will be given and gratefully received. May these gifts be transformed into strength and faith and unity, into comfort, food, and shelter for those who need, and may we be transformed by generosity. Will you now join me in singing our final hymn, number 103, for all the saints in will realize, or I want you to recognize that on the third verse is on the other page. I don't understand why I did it. That's just the way they did it. So just telling you that now, all right? So hymn number 103, For All the Saints.
Element there to carry us through our lives as a constant companion to the rhythm of our hearts.
Element of fire, like a brilliant sun, to warm us and remove forever the guiding light.
Element of water, you sustain us before birth and nourish us as we grow.
Element of earth, at our journey's end, may we return to rest in your loving cradle.
Element of spirit, help guide each of us on our path to tolerance, thoughtfulness, and insight.
We ask of all humanity to one day feel the pulse of Mother Earth as they walk. We ask for mankind to find the faith to believe in the messages carried by their dreams and to see beyond the visible world. We ask that everyone we come in contact with walk away with some of the happiness that lives within us. We ask for peace, acceptance, and tolerance for all those who express their love for a higher power, whatever that power may be. Most of all, we ask for an end to violence and corruption. The circle is open, but never broken. as we will,
as we
so will it be.
so will it be.
Merry peace, and merry heart, and merry beginning.
Blessed to be.
Thank